Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me introduce to you my 1992 Subaru Legacy GT. This is a JDM car, straight from Japan. I did not import her. It was this guy, J Cars Imports. I believe you can still find him on Instagram. So it is a right-hand drive, stock Momo wheel, 5-speed manual. But the reason I'm introducing this car is we're building her up a little bit. So pretty much, let me give you some backstory on this car. This is my high school sweetheart car. I got her whenever I was 16. Terrible financial decision, but I got her for $5,300. First car I ever bought myself, 16, saved up some money from working over summer, stuff like that, and bought her. Somewhat of a dream car. I really wanted a WRX at the time, but she popped up on Craigslist, I believe, and instantly fell in love with her. Very unique car. Came stock with an EJ20G turbo, 2-liter, 4-cylinder, obviously, with a air-to-water intercooler, which is something you do not see on any of the American cars, which is very interesting in and of itself. But like I said, 5-speed manual transmission, 411 rear end, which is insane. But anyway, regardless of that, like I said, terrible financial decision, purely because, I'll let you guess, it's a Subaru. So first thing that went out, turbo. So I ended up buying this turbo that's over here. Compressor housing's right here. But she is blown now. I haven't run this turbo in quite some time. But so luckily, my buddy, he had some work for me down in Galveston to do. This was back in probably 2018. And I was making $12.50 an hour with him. Worked for him for 2 weeks. Worked at an RV park. And we were just doing some yard work around the place, $12.50 an hour, which was great back then, making $100 a day. Saved up about $1,000 and spent $700 of that on a turbo. Put that in, drove her some more, drove her all the way through high school. But right at the end of high school, engine blew. I believe the pickup tube went out. And I was on my way home from school, started knocking a little bit louder. And then by the time I got to my house, engine ceased completely. So was petrified by the fact that I was going to have to swap out the engine, but did it whenever I was like 17 or something with my dad, and put a 96 WRX engine in it. Kept the stock intercooler. Everything's pretty much the same from 92 to 96, I suppose. Even the ECU worked, didn't have to get an ECU. But regardless, everything, this engine does run. I've had some issues with the ignition coils. So I've swapped out to, I believe those are O2 or so ignition coils. But in the process of doing those, I had to make this circuit board here, which I do not have easy enough to show, but I made this basically to convert the negative signal coming from the ECU to spark these ignition coils, because there was this little igniter. Long story, I can explain that some other time, but to convert that negative signal to a positive signal for these. But in doing that, wired in the circuit board backwards and blew out my ECU. And finding an ECU for this thing is next to impossible. So ended up going full standalone. So now we're full standalone, link ECU. Haven't put her in yet, because we are in the process right now of installing some of the sensors that are going to be needed for this. I'm waiting on some loom to come in for this. But so this is a link map sensor here. Then we got a wideband O2 sensor here. And this is all going to be run off CAN, which I really like, because I really like CAN. Got my twisted wires here. And then we have a 3-inch NVIDIA downpipe. We've got some Deutschwerks, I believe 600cc injectors. So we'll be able to push a little bit more fuel out of her. We also got over here, which I think I already showed y'all, but we got a DuchWorks 255 liters per hour. There's her. Then we got a TD05H turbo that we're going to be putting back in here. But quite unfortunately, she is blown, like I said earlier. So gonna have to order a rebuild kit to throw her on. But really not planning to push much power out of her because the internals have not been touched. It is a stock open deck, 2 liter, you know, nothing done to it. So really only going to be shooting for 250, 270, something like that. And I'm kind of doing it overkill because I have another engine that I plan to build for this thing. But just wanted to introduce her. Soon enough, you'll be seeing some more work on her once some more parts come in. Also, I'll show y'all, we got some BC Racing coilovers here. And we've got some White Line Racing stabilizer bar, links. We've got a quick turn steering rack from PRS, which took forever to come in. But outer tie rods, of course, some lower control arms. We got the works, man. So soon enough, y'all will be seeing more of her station wagon. Forgot to mention that. But yep, so get ready to see some content on her. I really wish I started filming this journey earlier, just so y'all could see some of the woes that I've had with this car. But soon enough, we will prevail. God will always prevail, of course, but God has been pushing me through with this, both financially and inspiration-wise, because it is really difficult to get into the mind space to work on this bad boy because she has not run in so long. And I miss her so much, but at the same time, every time I try to work on her, it's just issues on issues. So regardless of that, you will see her soon enough. The Houston Street will see her soon enough. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all like this video. Have a good one.